which is what makes it dangerous and why you have to doctor visits, constantly do what the f.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I've posted a video. There's been a lot of new changes. I'm not really going to go into the changes that happened, otherwise the video will be way too long. Long story short, I am pregnant. I am currently 24 weeks. This week I hit 24 weeks. Well, that's what they estimate. I'm pretty sure I'm kind of like in between 22 to 24 weeks, something if we're counting from conception date. I feel very round. As I realized that my pregnancy was very different from like the rest of my friends, because in the beginning I would ask them, have you went through this or have you went through that, and the majority of them said no, which kind of gave me a little heart attack. Yeah, so I wanted to make this video for anybody else who's pregnant, might possibly going through the same thing. And obviously pregnancy is just one of those things that you have to go through it in order to understand what happens. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Mima. This is Mima's Inventory. So without further ado, let's get into this video. The first thing that I want to talk about was how I knew I was pregnant. So around the time that I found out I was pregnant, I had decided that I wanted to, lead a healthier lifestyle. So I changed how I was eating, didn't really change the drinking. The fridge was filled with fruits, vegetables. There was probably like no meat in the fridge, and we were doing like a real detox. I also decided to do at-home workouts because with the pandemic, there's like nothing else to do. I would go on walks with my boyfriend, and I was realizing how out of breath I would get on these walks. Like no matter how many times I would walk, I would just get out of breath, and then my back was really hurting. I found that kind of odd, but I kind of shrugged it off. I did not think I was pregnant still. It was just weird. So honestly, the pregnancy test was just taken for like, oh, I might be pregnant, who knows. And then I took the pregnancy test, and voila, came out pregnant. I had bought 2 pregnancy tests, and I was going to take them a week in between. I took the next pregnancy test, and I broke that one. I still don't know how I broke it, but I broke it. And then I had to buy another pregnancy test, and that one came out positive. So it came out that I was pregnant. The difficulty with the beginning of the pandemic of finding like OBGYNs that would see me in person, because everybody was doing a virtual visit, and it's just like I'm not showing my vagina on camera for free. I just feel like you can't see what's wrong with me and all that stuff. So thankfully I had an OBGYN that was near me, but when I scheduled my appointment, it was some time before I was able to actually see him. And the paranoia that was just happening in my head, because I was drinking, not heavily, but I was drinking, and I was having a lot of bleeding. Like I was just spotting. So I would message my friends. I'm like, hey, is this normal? Because I have a lot of friends who have children, and I messaged them. I was like, hey, is this normal? And they're always like, oh nope, it's not. I've never had that. That never was a problem with me. And I'm just like, okay. So the paranoia was really bad. So if anybody's pregnant right now, I would probably say always just wait for the OBGYN and don't Google anything, because if you start Googling, then you start getting more paranoid, and then the first thing that always pops up on Google is ectopic pregnancy and a miscarriage, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's ectopic pregnancy. The longer ectopic pregnancy stays. And so yeah, paranoia was definitely real. Yeah, second thing I want to talk about was pregnancy during this pandemic has been very different and difficult. It's like I'm extremely happy, but at the same time it's because of hormones, things affect you a little more than how they would normally. Like things that would annoy me anyway seem to make me cry, which is not fun. fun. So being pregnant during this pandemic has been difficult because it's just like it's so easy to be stuck on all the negative things that are going on, and there's just so much negative happening right now in the US of A. So it's been difficult. It's like you want to go shopping, you want to start looking at baby stuff, and having a mask on your face and not being actually able to enjoy it, and then not being able to have the people in the delivery room as well. Hopefully by the time that I give birth, things might be a little different, but as of right now, only having one person in the delivery room. So yeah, just a lot of things that go through your mind during this pandemic. It's hard because for the most part, when you're pregnant, all you want to do is focus on your future and your baby, and you know, all the stuff that you're gonna get them. And it's kind of different now because you gotta also think about corona, you gotta think about the place that you're giving birth, and then you gotta be even more careful with your own self. So it's been very difficult. I try to stay positive by watching different YouTubers rage, and just watching different things and staying connected with family and friends. Main thing I wanted to talk about was a procedure that I had to have done. When I went to go have my first ultrasound, they found that my cervix was shortening. And the first thing you think about when you have a shortening cervix, or a cervix that's opening, is, oh my god, the baby's gonna slip out when like at any minute, like I'm gonna sneeze and he's just gonna come out. The doctor had prescribed me some progesterone suppositories because they wanted to see if, did I take my progesterone yet? Yes, I did. They wanted to give me an increase of progesterone, which can help you know, tighten the cervix. Took that for a week and that didn't work, so then I had to go get surgery on Monday. Now, first thing when you think about surgery is, even though when I already looked into it, he told me what kind it was, so when I saw it, it didn't really make me panic. But now, a cerclage is a procedure where they basically tie what looks like shoestrings, but you could look it up. They tie ribbons and stitches. They basically stitch your cervix up to tighten it and make sure, you know, baby don't slip out. So this procedure does use anesthesia. You cannot have any food or water after midnight, which I kind of broke. I didn't eat no food, but I definitely drank water. But when I asked the lady, I'm like, oh, what happens if you drink some water after the procedure? And she basically told me that you die. I definitely started panicking. You get a spinal anesthesia. They will give you a general anesthesia if you're not as numb as they need you to be, but that was no problem for me. They give you a spinal anesthesia, which the initial needle of the spinal anesthesia did not hurt, but it's weird. It's so weird to describe it, because the initial needle goes in and then it feels like they're like locking something in place or whatever, and that's what kind of hurt a little bit. It didn't hurt a lot, but it hurts. That spinal anesthesia hit real quick. I was trying to scooch to the edge of the bed so that they can do the procedure, and I thought I was still scooching, and I wasn't scooching anymore. Like, everything went numb. And the procedure only lasted like all of 7 minutes. Honestly, it wasn't long. Like, when you're sitting there waiting for the procedure to happen, it makes you kind of panicky. It was only like 6-7 minutes, and then the anesthesiologist was kind of just talking to me so that he could distract me, and then by the time he stopped talking, the procedure was done. The weirdest part about it is, like, your chest feels weird. Like, when you laugh, you know that you're laughing, but you cannot feel your body move while laughing, and it kind of freaks you out. So I was trying not to laugh as much because it's just like, bruh, like, why can't I feel myself laughing? The recovery process of the cerclage was not really, it wasn't difficult, but of course for me, it wouldn't be me, certain things happen that normally doesn't happen, but it's okay if it happens. Like I was bleeding a little bit after I wasn't supposed to be bleeding anymore, and then I had a little bit of pelvic pain, and then where they put the needle in was hurting. Now I feel fine, I feel normal. You don't feel stitches. I'm still taking the progesterone suppositories. The weird part about it was they kept asking me if I felt like I was having contractions or any kind of cramps, any tightening, and I was like, no, I mean, besides the fact I don't know what contractions feel like, when they're telling me about it, I didn't have any. That was the shocking part, because it's like some women get contractions and then they tell their doctor, and their doctor is like, oh yeah, your cervix is shortening. I didn't get any contractions. Like, even after he prescribed me the progesterone and he rechecked my cervix in a week, my cervix shortened another, I don't know if it was an inch or a centimeter. Either way, it shortened again. I didn't feel anything. And another thing I guess I want to talk about is the pregnancy memory. My memory is about as bad as my boyfriend's, which I never thought would happen. But it's not even just memory, it's just like I feel like my brain is cloudy. Not all the time, but most of the time. Like when I'm at work, I'll find that I'll lose my train of thought very easily. I'll find that even when I look on my phone, I'll forget what I'm about to search on my phone. It's very different. Something I never experienced, because I've always had good memory. I've never had any brain issues, and for me to just always have a cloudy brain, no matter how much sleep I get, no matter what food I eat, is just that's just something very, very interesting. But yeah, this is all that I have went through 24 weeks of being pregnant. You guys can leave comments about your pregnancy journey. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to comment about your pregnancy journey, and subscribe to my channel. I've went through. If you got any tips for me for this pregnancy memory, because please, I can't deal with the whole cloudy brain all the, like, not all the time, like a little bit, okay, but not all the time. I will see you guys next Friday.